Good morning, and thank you so much for attending the first annual Past Presidents Leadership Forum. And I want to welcome you all from all over the country to our forum. This forum is being presented by the past presidents. For many years, the past presidents and others have noticed that many of you come to the NMA each year. And if you're anything like me, I came after I had finished all my training. And I was inspired by what I experienced and interacting with other black doctors, motivated by the discussions relevant to me and my patients, blown away by all the science that we hear each year at this convention, and really impressed by the ability of my colleagues to party. You know, I came from Texas. I thought we had prime real estate on that one, but when I got here, I found out that we had a lot to learn in that area. But immediately I wanted to be involved after that very first meeting, so I went back to San Francisco and joined the local John Hill Medical Society. San Francisco and Oakland are an enigma. If you look right or left, as you head from the airport to the wine country or to the little cable cars, there are a lot of people of color on either side of that freeway who are in very poor health. As you walk and stroll through Golden Gate Park, there are a lot of people in that area who see that park as their home. And a lot of African Americans, if you meander across the Golden Gate Bridge and just look east, you'll see a number of African Americans living in zip codes where life expectancy is as much as 7 years less than people living in other zip codes in Oakland. But I looked around for a way to help and a way to give my medical school essay. You know that essay says you're going to practice for nothing in the urban inner city areas and take care of people for tomatoes and strawberries as you try to get in medical school. I found the NMA Society's John Hill and St. Clement working feverishly and creatively on the problems of health equity. I joined, invested my ideas, and was rewarded 50 to 100 times over with what we were able to accomplish through the years. So today, the past presidents will present the Leadership Forum because we know the problems. We share a common bond of wearing the medal of leadership, and we, to a person, the joy and satisfaction of representing one of the most respected health organizations in the world. But most importantly, we want you to consider taking a larger role in the struggle to improve health of black people and to ensure the struggle for health. This is to be an interactive and informal session, and on this stage will be among America's finest and famous physicians who happen to be presidents of the National Medical Association. They will reflect on the leadership and let you know how the NMA is structured and present a peek into local society organization and operation. Through this is our hope that we'll be able to motivate those of you who are not involved in leadership to get involved, and in some cases those of you who are involved to get more involved. For most of the session, we will not introduce all the speakers and the participants. Their bios are in your program. But we must introduce to you the first two speakers, Dr. Vivian Penn and the 118th President of the National Medical Association, Dr. Doris Brown. Dr. Penn has a challenging resume and CV, so many paragraphs would not do.
You don't need to do that. We're going to talk about NMA.
I'm not going to do that. I'm not doing that.
Okay.
I'm doing something else.
All right. I'm being put in my place many times.
She was the inaugural full-time director of the Office of Research in Women's Health at the National Institutes of Health and was the associate director for research on women's health, in NIH position she held from 1981 until her retirement in 2011. And hardly a retirement, but her retirement from there. Since her retirement, she's been named as a senior scientist emerita at the NIH Fogarty International Center, the NIH. She served on the faculty of the Harvard Medical School, Tufts Medical School of Medicine, and Howard University, where she was professor, chair of pathology. She's a degree in Wellesley College and received her MD degree from the University of Virginia, where they now have a building named in her honor. And she, before completing her postgraduate training in pathology at Mass General Hospital. She's a fellow of the American Academy of Arts and Sciences and was elected to the National Academy of Medicine in 1995. I present to you one of our most distinguished presidents, Dr. Vivian Penn.
Thank you, Dr. Lenore. And I just want to give you a very brief welcome on behalf of the Past President's Council. I'm actually, I think, the 88th president of the National Medical Association is now in the program. It's been a long time, but I think I'm the 88th president and currently the chair of the Past President's Council. And if I can get this pulled up, there we are. And I'm going to be very brief. We want to welcome you to what we're calling the first annual Past Presidents Leadership Forum, which means that we hope, depending upon your evaluations today, that this will be the first of many years of a leadership forum which Past Presidents Council will sponsor for this organization, looking to improve it each year. But I think Dr. Mike Lenore, who has organized this, has done a stupendous job in putting this together to bring, to make this first leadership forum effect. If you look at the Constitution and bylaws, which I do constantly, and since you're in a leadership forum, I remind you that that is the guide really to all we do, that I hope that you will keep the Constitution and bylaws, if not in your hip pocket. We have so many compendium and so many editions, but keep the basic facts with you at all times if you are in or pursuing a leadership position. It describes the Past Presidents Council as that composed of past presidents of the National Medical Association, and that our function is to provide this organization with the historic expertise resulting from knowledge and wisdom of the past presidents of the National Medical Association. And that was what I was hinting to Dr. Lenore about. I think that perhaps it's great to see the credentials of the speakers and the leaders of this organization as well as the past presidents. But it perhaps is even more impressive to see the roles and the different functions that past presidents and other leaders have had within this organization. You don't just join today and become president tomorrow. Many have served as past speakers of the House, have served as past chairs of the board, as heads of councils, a member of House committees, as local and state chairs. And I think looking at that history of the leadership throughout the roles of within the organizations is extremely important in thinking about developing and become leaders and eventually becoming a member of the Past Presidents Council. Now, I'm welcoming you on behalf of the past presidents, and you know that anyone who has been a president automatically becomes part of the Past Presidents Council. And this is a photo of our gathering at the last installation of Doris Brown at the last year's convention as president, and these are our past presidents. And actually, of all of these are all of the surviving, meaning living past presidents of the organization. If you go back and look in our installation booklet, we'll give you the list of all past presidents going back to the very first one, Dr. Robert Boyd, from 1895 to 1897, to today, Dr. Doris Brown, and then Dr. Neva Lubin Johnson, who will become president on Tuesday night. But these are all of the living ones, and I wanted to introduce those who are here present. I think we have a wonderful representation. Remember, we're all getting older and we're all getting involved, so to have this many of us still here and active is impressive. And I will ask that they stand as I called their name, going down those who are with us at this convention. Dr. Frank Royal, who also has served as one of the youngest chairs of the Board of Trustees of this organization and our actually most senior past president. I'm standing up here. Dr. Yvonne Chris Smithville, who also happened to have been the first woman chair of the Board of Trustees of this organization. Dr. Randall Morgan from 1996. Dr. Nate Murdoch, is Dr. Murdoch here? Dr. Javette Orgain, Dr. Rodney Hood, Dr. L. Natalie Carroll, Dr. Randall Maxey, did he get here yet? I know he's coming. Dr. Winston Price, Winston's in the front row. Dr. Sandra Gadsden, she's coming, she may not have gotten here yet. Dr. Nelson Adams, who will be leading a panel in a few minutes. Dr. Carolyn Barley Britton, who also served as chair of the board, and I didn't list that for everybody. Dr. Leonard Weather, Jr., is Dr. Weather here yet? He's coming. Dr. Cedric Bright, North Carolina. Where is Cedric? Maybe he's still with the Children of the Walk. Dr. Bailey, Ron Bailey. I heard from Ron his plane got delayed. I know he's on his way. Dr. Mike Lenore, who is here, Dr. Edith Mitchell. She is here at convention. Dr. Richard Williams, he's on his way. He won't be in until later today. Dr. Doris Brown, our current president, not yet a member of the past President's Council. Where is Doris? She went outside. She's here. And Neva Lubin Johnson, who will be our president as of Tuesday night. So that is an introduction of our presidents. Now, if you look at the Constitution and bylaws, you have to look all the way through to find all the things that the president is expected to do. And actually, what is actually listed in the Constitution and bylaws is extremely brief and really does not begin to cover the functions of the president. It says that the president, you have to give an inaugural address, meaning once you become president, you're supposed to address the organization as well as the House of Delegates to tell them what you have planned for your year as priorities for the organization. You have the right to participate. You're not a trustee, but you have the right to sit as a voting member of the Board of Trustees. It is an important function to appoint all of the councils of the House of Delegates and other committees that are deemed necessary. And I have to point out, and I think we'll hear about that, I can't emphasize more how important those councils are, both in terms of supporting the president, supporting the organization, but also in supporting leadership development roles. I started serving on chair of the Council on Talent Recruitment, which unfortunately no longer exists, and serving on a number of councils, and a number of those that I've seen rise to importance. I remember appointing to councils as their first appointments when I was Speaker of the House of Delegates. And of course, to deliver a report at the end of year of what you have accomplished. But in actuality, the president does much more. Bottom line, the president serves as the public face of the NMA. The president is the spokesperson. No one else should be speaking on behalf of the NMA except the president, unless the president designates someone else to do it, or if it is a request for specific information from a specific group. The president receives and responds to all media, other organizational, public, industry, or any outreach to the NMA, but is free to consult and should consult scientific sections, resolutions of the House of Delegates for NMA policy statements, other officers and House of Delegates councils for information to use to respond to these public requests. The president may and should delegate other officers or members of the NMA to respond on behalf of the organization or in representation at meetings, conferences, government meetings, as deemed necessary or appropriate, because the president can't be everything at all places at all times. However, always with the informed leadership of the president. Remember, the president is the face and the public spokesperson of the NMA. The president has many other organization responsibilities during that year of presidency, and so must call upon the years of experience leading to this position in serving in so many other positions within the NMA to be able to function appropriately. And I'm going to end it at that, because with the other panels coming up, you will hear more about the roles of other offices and officers as well as the president. So let me just conclude by saying thank you to Dr. Lenore and to the committee that worked with him for bringing this about. We hope that you will find this a valuable experience, and we will continue to support Dr. Lenore and the organization with taking this leadership forum forward in coming years. Thank you.